What's going on YouTube? Today we're doing the set 24 Frieza deck profile. So like always, there's buttons, links down below. If you like the content, let me know. And let me know what you're interested about this deck and like what do you like and whatnot and what would you change if it was your take. This is also pretty much my first draft of this leader and this whole deck. There are a few things I'm definitely going to change. I haven't made those changes yet. So I kind of just want to go over my initial idea for the deck as we go through this profile. So we're going to start with the leader, and yeah, I managed to pull the alt art leader, which looks amazing. Pretty cool. So on the front side, you don't really need to attack, which is pretty nice. Activate main once per turn. Add one card from your life to your hand. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to one green or yellow Frieza card to your hand. Then shuffle your deck afterwards. Unfortunately, this is when your life is 4 or less. You draw one and switch one of your energies to active mode. You don't need to attack with this one, but because there's no alternative awakening to this leader, you probably should get attacks in just so that way your opponent can at least you're dealing some damage. If not, you're probably wasting your first turn charging a card that you can't use and then going to turn 2 trying to catch up on things. So yeah, just play how you feel like it's best. I tested it both ways and I feel like I did well. You do rely on the Successor cards. Alright, so once you've awakened, you have a permanent. When choosing battle cards for the skill cost of Successor on a Frieza card in your hand, once per turn you may choose any number of your opponent's battle cards as mono green cards, which is really good, but it's just a good way to kind of clean your opponent's board up without you have to worry about tacking into their battle cards. Auto, when this card attacks, you draw one card, and then activate battle once per turn. Spirit Boost 1. Use up to one green-yellow multicolored card with a combo cost of 1 from your hand and combo with its skills you get for a turn. Of all the Successor pieces for this deck, the 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 drop cards are all a 1 cost 10k combo. So there is a bit of a slow progression to this deck. You want to kind of maintain the energy you have when you can't go for game. Hold it for definitely defensive plays. This is a green deck. You are always going to have a use on board. So like certain things like Dormant and stuff like that are going to be your best friend. But let's get into the Z deck real quick. We're going to start with the Unison, the Z-Unison, which is cooler. I play a 3 of. You could definitely make this a 4 of, and I see the arguments for it, especially with that activate battle on the leader's backside. But auto once per turn, when you play a yellow Frieza card, this card gets plus 10,000 power, which is cool. So it makes it from a 5k to a 15k. Activate main for plus 2. If your leader is green Frieza card and you declare one number that's 3 or less, choose up to one of your opponent's non-token battle cards and increase its cost by the declared number. So this is how you turn a 4 cost to a 7 cost, a 5 cost to an 8 cost, so on and so on. This is how you kind of just manipulate your opponent's board to benefit your own skill costs. This oh my gosh, this does have a -3 ability, which your opponent discards 1 card from your hand. Truth be told, you're never going to use it. Between the +2, then using the activate battle just to get things into your Z deck, your Z energy. Yeah, I never found a moment where the -3 was really beneficial. The leader also got a Z Awaken, which I do play 2 of. So it's whenever, really. It's just green, 1 energy, green Frieza. It does have the same permanent when choosing battle cards, choosing number, yada, yada, yada. At the auto, at the end of the battle in which this card was attacked, you may place 2 of your Z energy in your drop. If you don't, remove this card from the game. So it's definitely a good defensive play. Get the nice 15k boost out there. But if you want to maintain that defensive boost, you have to get rid of 2 additional cards from your Z energy. This does have an activate main. Once per turn, Spirit Boost. You draw 1 card and choose it to one of your green Frieza battle cards. Switch it to active mode. The key here is play the 10 cost on the front side after you've already attacked with this card. You attack with the 10 drop twice, whatever. Activate this battle at least once during that attack. Then you Z Awaken, and then you activate the battle to draw 1, restand that 10 drop again to attack a 3rd time. And like I said, I play 2 in case I don't want to get rid of the Z energy. I can just go back into it later into another turn or whatnot. And then the last card from the set we have is You Must Die by my hand, which is a very tricky card because if your leader is Green Frieza and your life is at 1, and you remove this card from the game, when one of your Frieza cards attack, choose up to one of the attacking cards and it gets plus 30,000 power for the battle. Additionally, if no damage was done to your opponent by that attack, you place all your life into your drop at the end of this battle. So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's a nice little one-time 30k boost, but if you don't hit your opponent, it's game. So it's kind of like you go for your final attack with this card. Other cards in this deck, one the Broly, Jiren, Frieza, and then Limit Ultra Kamehameha, which is kind of the go-to instead of You Must Die by my hand, but I have it there just in case I do have 1 life and I want to go for that final game push. Going into the deck itself, we start with our Searchers, which I play Zarbon. There is a Deborah in the deck, in the set as well. They both have the exact same activate main, but the autos are different. Dodoria, draws you a card. But Zarbon, when this card's played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 green or yellow Frieza card to your hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards. It just helps me get the cards I need in my hands. Activate main, if your leader is Green Frieza, you use this card to pretty much increase one of your opponent's non-token battle cards and your cost by 1. So, push a 4 to a 5, a 3 to a 4, whatnot. Just really good for that purpose. If your opponent has no battle card, and you're like, well, how do I use this effect? Krillin has an activate main. If your leader is Green Frieza card and you have a green Z-Unison in play, and your opponent has no battle cards in play, you draw 1 card, and you play this card from your hand in your opponent's battle area in rest mode. So boom, there's a 3 cost right there. You can turn on use the Z-Unison to make it a 6 cost, and then you can Successor it for your own cards. It does absolutely nothing outside that except for being a combo piece, which most times it is. Going to the 3-drop Friezas, we play a 3/3. We have Frieza, Invasion, Beginning. They both have the same activate main, and they both have the exact same activate mains. For 1 yellow energy, if your leader is a Green Frieza card, and you have you have 1 or more green energy and 1 or more yellow energy, you draw 1 card, play this card from hand. The other activate main is once per turn, you declare a number 1 through 3 and increase this card's cost by that declared number. The auto in this one, though, is when this card is played, you add to 1 card from your life to your hand, then you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. The other 3-drop, same like I said, the same activate mains, but instead on the auto, when this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, choose 1 of your opponent's rest mode battle cards, and it can't switch to active mode during your opponent's charge phase, which is just really good, kind of maintaining, locking down your opponent's board, so that way you have those cards for future Successor without having to worry about them attacking with it. So yeah, pretty good, a little bit of control there, kind of like it. Going into the entire Successor cards, starting with the 5-drop, and these numbers are still up to debate on how I want to adjust them. The 5-drop allows you to pretty much cycle the Frieza's army cards with 5,000 combo costs from your drop to your Z energy, which is kind of nice, but never really found an opportunity to play this one. I may bring it down to 2. I can do a little bit more testing to verify that, but it is a dual attacker. The auto, though, is once per turn, so you're only getting that 1 time. But for 1 energy, you're possibly getting rid of 1 of your opponent's battle cards to play a dual attack 19k that's getting like a 5k combo on 1 of its attacks. Going to the 6-drop, which is a double strike card, and then this one, auto limit 1. If you have 3 or more energy, when this card is played, draw 1 card, and then you make it 8. It gains 10k power for the turn. So get rid of opponent's card, and you got a 30k double strike on the board. 7-drop is actually one of my favorites. Nothing special on the attacks itself, but the auto, you do get a draw for the Successor part, but the auto, when your opponent plays a battle card, you may choose it and switch it to rest mode. If you do, negate this card's skill for the turn. That is so good during your turn, during your opponent's turn, whatever it is, and you can choose 1 to activate that skill. So and it's an auto, so if your opponent plays a card and goes, oh cool, pop the 7-drop, remove the 7-drop, well, my auto did go into pending, I still get to resolve it, switch that card to rest mode. So it's just a really good card. It's actually one of my favorite ones I go to all the time. Then we got the 8-drop, which is a crit dual attack, which is very aggressive. It does cost 2 energy to play it, though. But auto, when this card is played, draw 1 card, choose 1 of your opponent's Unisons and remove 2 markers from it. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or Unisons and negates their skills for the turn. That's just really good as well. It's a 25k quote-unquote boss monster. Like I said, it's dual attack crit. Your opponent's going to try to combo out of those attacks, but you're kind of taking out a Unison. You're clearing a card's skills. Very nice. And then we have the 10 drop, which unfortunately is the only Frieza card in this deck that can bypass energy exhaust. So as long as you have another green-yellow card outside this card you put into energy, you could place in your energy in active mode, which is kind of good. You want to charge one of these turn 1, and then turn 2 you charge this card or Anzilla, and go from there. But he is a double strike, dual attack. When this card is played, your opponent can't attack until the end of their turn unless they switch one of their active mode cards to rest mode for each time. So it's kind of like for 3 energy, you're drawing 2 cards, and then you have kind of like a pseudo floodgate going on there during your opponent's turn. Kind of nice. Those are all the Friezas. Going into the rest of the deck, because I need the energy, we play 4 Anzillas. As soon as you see it, I'm just charging this card, and that's its only purpose in this deck. Because we do play a Unison pretty much every turn if our opponent takes care of it. If our opponent doesn't take care of it, cool. 1 Charismatic Villain, 2 the Doria counterplays, 4 of the Dormants, and then continue over to the rest of the negates here. 2 Homicidal Clones, 3 King Piccolo's aerial battles, which actually is amazing. So initially it's just 1 energy as long as you meet the criteria, which this deck is very easy to get that. Auto when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or less, KO it, then choose one of your opponent's Unisons to remove a marker from it. And set 24's meta is kind of like, or not meta, but all of the archetypes are kind of like, play this Unison from your Z deck, and it's kind of like, cool, this will help snipe it down a little bit if it's a problematic card. Super combos, Paragus, just because we want to see cards and we just warp cards that are useless in our hand. Because this is a yellow Frieza army card, I'll bring up my favorite card of all time, called Bloodlust. Following up with the another boss monster deck, the Son Goku Gohan duo. This card is really good because for 2 energy, you're playing this card. It gains barrier, and then on the attack, it removes a card, ignoring barrier, and then your opponent has to discard a card from their hand, and it's a double strike. There's a lot of pressure being caused by this card, and yeah, it's 35k, which is great, which is really great. I don't know why I said not great. And then the last card, Secret Rare. You can really play any Secret Rare that you prefer. I happened to get this from our case, and I was like, this looks fun. I want to try it out. And it actually came in pretty clutch in one of my matchups. So it's 2 energy to play. The problem with this card, though, is that your leader is green or yellow, and you have 3 more energy. Play this card from your hand, then you remove this card from the game at the end of the turn. Now, the Activate main is a limit 3, so you can do it 3 times. You can either draw 1 card and make your opponent discard 1 card, choose it to one of your opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode, or you choose it to one of your battle cards and one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and then place all other battle cards at the bottom of their owner's decks in any order. Primarily, you're just using those first 2. If you're trying to go for a game and your opponent has open energy, sweet, I'm just going to rest all your energy. If you have blockers, I'm going to rest the blockers, and you play this card and you start attacking, so they use like negate blockers. You kind of, cool, activate main, switch it to rest mode, and then you attack again, and so on and so on. Or if your opponent's already tapped out, you just say, cool, discard 3 cards, I'm going to draw 3 cards. It was really fun. Xenocell is a good choice. You also have Cell Max. So those are other options if you wanted to. But that's my Frieza deck profile. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below things that you would change differently or how you're playing your deck. Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Bye.